the sky fan pelt. I can't help but feel like a victim of, cause I am bound to get that way beyond crazy, shady gone. But hey, maybe I'm the GOAT, the bitch on and baby Tron, and that's why they be on the they be on. Cause
Tobey Maguire got bit by a spider, but see, me, it was a GOAT. If you want space, I hope you take your helmet off soon as you get up to Venus. And even while sleeping, be thinking so woke. White Cartiers, all I'm seeing is my city laying, and I'm Obi-Wan, got a mission to pass, I just might be the hope.
Yeah. Big bag, got him big mad. Get into some money in his bag. Jumping out the Rolls truck with the temp tag. I'm getting money, I don't get mad. As in my hood, he gon' set it on stamp. And when them situations came, I came out like a champ. When it was pouring down raining, I came out of it damp. But now it's showers when we done all up in they traps. Can't be us cause they rats. Stand tall, point a finger, never that. I knew it had it all, went to the bank and get it back. That's why I'm humble as ever, and I rumble whatever. Don't chase, cause they come with the cheddar. I see my man, girl, start acting bougie when he is cheddar. Before you knew it, better. I knew about it and
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on 2K Sports. With Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. On the sidelines, we have David Aldridge reporting. We've got the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the San Antonio Spurs.
Well, the defense flat out awful right there, and he couldn't punish them for their mistake.
Outside Butler. To the paint. Launches it. Rebounded by the Spurs. Here's Parker. Pass to Bowen. Now Ginobili. And there's the drive. Here's Ori. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Here's Garnett. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Garnett's got the first basket of the game for the Timberwolves.
Well, the prototypical modern-day power forward comes about as a result of KG paving the way.
And Parker, here we go. Pass to Bowen. Shot clock at 5. And that one's good. Parker
can't just dominate inside. He has to rely on gracefulness and agility.
And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. What you got for us, D.A.?
Thanks, Kevin. Greg Popovich and I did speak a few minutes ago, and we talked about the tall task of facing Anthony Edwards. Coach said he is so physical. Ant looks more like a linebacker than a wing, so we can't foul Edwards too much. That's playing right into his hands. So they'll try to play him tight without sending him to the line. Not easy to do. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David.
First team foul.
Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. To the middle. It's tipped. Inside. Here's Gugliotta. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Here's Bowen. Spurs working the ball around now. There's the pick. Back to Ori. That falls. Nice feed that time from Manu Ginobili.
And how about the IQ there by Ginobili in that pick and roll? He is so good with being able to thread the needle with that pass.
Now here's Garnett. And down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
That's how you share the rock. He does this time and time again.
And we've got a timeout from Greg Popovich. He's ready to talk things through with the team. San Antonio trailing here. Pass to Bowen. Now here's Parker. Out to Duncan. Fires the three. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
It's rare that you see this from Duncan, so you know he had to really like the shot.
Garnett with it. Down low to the left wing. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Towns.
That looks like a lack of focus. You've got to question what he was trying to accomplish there.
And it's Parker with the ball, bringing it up for the Spurs. And there's a minute 45 left here in the first quarter. Up and in on the layup.
I tell you what, you better watch out, fellas. He is on fire here today.
And again, Minnesota will turn it over. And so it's San Antonio with it. It's a three-point game. And the points coming for them now, Greg, in bunches.
And we're seeing what a high-octane offense should look like.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Anthony Edwards is figuring things out. He said there's levels. My first few years, I looked for my shot and nothing else. I've learned that I can't win without my teammates and that I have to throw them the ball too. It's a team game. I know that now. Kevin, I know it too, so I'm throwing it back to you.
And you're the best teammate we could have. Thank you, David. Now here's Ginobili. Anthony Edwards unable to get his last shot to go in. Back to Ginobili. Outside, Ori. Parker with the bounce pass. 6 to shoot. To the inside. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Lets it go with the three. The shot by Ori, no good.
That is fantastic defense on one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Didn't give him an inch of room.
Now here's Parker. He has 6. Pass to Duncan. And Duncan throws it down.
Yeah, and at 7-1, Duncan is a problem in the paint. Outstanding with his extension there and just hammering it home.
And it's Garnett at the elbow. Outside Butler. Outside Edwards. knocks down the three ball.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
And so the first quarter is in the books. Spurs lead by 4. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Spurs?
Tons of points off penetration so far, guys. They're driving at will on the defense, just taking whatever they want.
Here's Ginobili. Inside. Duncan surveying the D. Outside for Robinson. And Duncan throws it down.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
You're just too slow to react. You can't afford to sleepwalk through possessions. What's going on out there?
Here's Garnett. The three-pointer, no good. Spurs leading by 6. It's stolen by Garnett. Minnesota again turning it over. Here's Barry. Going inside. Pass to Bowen. Now Robinson. Duncan with it. Outside for Robinson. Back to Duncan. 6 on the shot clock. A second chance effort. His first shot coming late. The second effort. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down.
Boy, in that close, he's almost automatic. Boy, that's pretty good defense. Wow.
Butler with the ball. Picked up by Ginobili. Stolen by Duncan. Here's Barry. And that comes off the assist by Duncan. Barry's got the lead up to 9 now for the Spurs.
And how about the stroke there from Barry? Has such an effortless release on his three ball.
Here's Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Yeah, he just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam. Ginobili looking around. And the foul called on Edwards. That's his first foul. San Antonio making a switch here.
Coming onto the floor for San Antonio.
Into the lane.
Tony Parker.
Shot clock at 6. Pass to Duncan. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. And here is Butler. Still without a basket. And the call will be against Tony Parker.
First personal foul.
That's his first foul.
First team foul. Coming on
Here's Towns. And Towns throws it down.
Big time slam by Karl Anthony Towns. Love when he's playing with this sort of aggression.
Parker outside. That one's not going to go. Some solid defense from Butler. Timberwolves trail by 7. .152 left now here in the second. To the paint. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
Well, when the playmaking duties fall to Jimmy Butler, he is more than capable.
And we've got a timeout from Greg Popovich. Looking for a breather and maybe just 1 or 2 things to talk about. The Spurs making a switch here. Spurs leading by 5. Over to the left wing. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Here's Bowen. Rebound, Minnesota. Here's Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Well, don't sleep on the foot speed of Karl Anthony Towns. He's a factor in transition.
Right side Robinson. Pass to Duncan. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Screen by Duncan. Here's Ori. Anthony Edwards with the rebound.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Guys, that is what you call two physical, hard-earned points from Karl Anthony Towns. Go ahead and embrace that contact.
Screen by Duncan. Pass to Bowen. Lets the three fly. Jimmy Butler comes up with the rebound.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Boy, Anthony Edwards out in transition, knows his teammates made a defensive play, and wisely leaks out.
And timeout is called by Greg Popovich. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. Here's Ginobili. Hasn't made one yet. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Pass to Robinson. Here's Ori. They set the pick. Here's Barry. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Barry's got 5 points now this quarter.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And it's slammed in by Garnett.
And you can see he just has a great overall feel for this game. Excellent job tonight.
And that's been his role pretty much from the opening tip. Get the ball to guys where they can score it.
It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. Butler with the ball. No one near Edwards as he lets it fly. Garnett laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Garnett's got the lead up to 3 now for the Timberwolves.
And the arms of Garnett go on forever, and that length makes him a problem on the offensive glass.
Pass to Bowen. Robinson on the wing. Duncan inside. And there's a foul that goes on Jimmy Butler. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Well, he bailed him out with that one. The shot clock was low. You got to just play straight up D. That is not the time to take a foul.
Parker outside from past the arc. And the three ball is good. Parker's got the game tied up here for the Spurs.
And as soon as Parker catches the ball, he immediately rises up and pulls the trigger. Love to see the confidence on display there.
Making the most of the screen. That's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Where was the defense? No fighting through the pick, no rotation. My goodness.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Outside Edwards. Pass to Garnett. And it's slammed in by Garnett.
And how about the power there from KG? He can fly with the best of them.
Parker right side. Here he goes. Duncan right side. Here's Bowen. Nothing on the board. There's Parker with the three. Garnett grabs the board.
Well, nice job crashing the glass. You love to see that kind of effort.
So they foul intentionally.
First personal foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Now here's Butler. Outside Edwards. His three-pointers off the mark.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That is his first foul of the game. And we've got a timeout from Greg Popovich. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team. Spurs making a switch here. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Screen by Duncan. Pass to Ori. Here's Bowen. Spurs working the ball around now. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Duncan. San Antonio again missing. And they're on the break. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up.
And that passion that Garnett plays with is really infectious. He's always talking and trying to get himself and his guys going. Wow, what, did he have something in his eye on that shot?
Maybe. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. There's the pick. Here's Barry. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
Well, credit him for going for it, not settling, saying, I'm going to attack.
Up top, Edwards. He's got 5. Count that one. Edwards got 7 points.
Doesn't matter where on the floor Anthony Edwards is. That shot mechanic's so pretty, so fluid.
Good on the shot.
And you're going to take as many of those high percentage shots as you can get.
Pass to Edwards. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. So it's the Spurs now. Here's Bowen. Hunter Ginobili on the wing. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Timberwolves.
They've been playing some really physical offense, just attacking the paint as much as possible. And I tell you what, they have been very successful with that strategy.
Out to Duncan. Just 5 on the clock. For the lead. The shot by Ori, no good. Here's Minnesota. Garnett high post. 11 points in the game. Outside Edwards. Kicks it out to Garnett. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Minnesota again turning it over.
Yeah, simply stated, you have to take care of the basketball, and they don't on that possession.
So it's the Spurs now.
They can close out the quarter if they want to.
It's all about patience right here. Patience and execution. Get a good look.
It's Ginobili with the drive. And it's Manu Ginobili with the finish.
Ooh, that kind of defense, it's almost as if they're just standing there.
Well, for the most part, they were just standing still. And you've got an easy 2 points.
Yeah, and despite his restrictions offensively, you still have to close off the lane or he'll burn you.
That's the end of the third, and it's all tied up. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway.
34.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Now Parker. On the wing, Duncan. At basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10.
And Duncan just superb when he gets in close to the basket. Has a number of moves to choose from, and that soft, delicate touch near the rim.
For 3, Edwards. Edwards with confidence.
3 points.
Game winding down, and they just keep changing leads.
And guys, no separation yet, and I really don't think we're going to see any all the way down.
And that one's good. Parker.
Well, when Parker uses that burst of speed on the drive, he's nearly impossible to get in front of.
Butler with the ball. Robinson picks him up. And here's Edwards from the arc. That missed basket now makes him 4 of 8 from the field. Pass to Ori. Back to Parker. And we've got a timeout from Greg Popovich. There was no hesitating. He wants to talk to the team right now. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
During that break, Greg Popovich really had some strong advice for his team. He told him he liked the way they were working, but he said we have to really get after it. All we need is a couple of stops. Keep your focus. We'll see if they can close it out. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Shot clock at 3. Here's Ori. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. And he commits the intentional foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Fires, high post. Another shot. Kicks it out to Garnett. Drills the three-pointer. And the Timberwolves lead by 2.
And when Garnett has it going, he's unguardable. I love how confident and versatile he is on offense.
Screen by Duncan. And here's Ori for 3. Drills it from outside.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, that three-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
The shot by Butler, nobody around. And another 3 for Minnesota.
The answer from Butler, no one is more competitive than Jimmy.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
So he gets them both. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. And here is Butler. Here's Sprewell. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
You can tell Sprewell is very competitive. When they need a shot, he's the guy to deliver. How about the concentration from Duncan? Doesn't budge, even in the biggest of moments.
Right side, Butler. Pass to Sprewell. Down low. And it's slammed in by Garnett.
Can't afford these defensive breakdowns, especially down the stretch.
And right now, neither side can get a stop. Looks like both coaches will have plenty of material for the film room.
Outside, Robinson. Clock at 6. Here's the screen. Here's Duncan. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
And that's about the worst defense I can imagine a team playing coming down the stretch.
You know, we've talked about execution offensively coming down the stretch. To me, it's as important defensively, and they didn't have it.
And it's Kevin Garnett with the finish.
And talk about putting some extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Well, consistency is so critical, especially in clutch moments. This guy has got that gene.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Deep two from Robinson. Bucket is good.
And you can feel the excitement in the building. Both of these teams pouring it on.
There's been a bit of a flurry here late, and this game may come down to which side gets a stop or two.
To the middle. Here's Garnett. 6 to shoot. Here's Edwards. Money!
That's one of those clutch shots he's known for. When the pressure is high, he seems to be the most locked in.
Duncan outside. Back to Robinson. Pass to Duncan. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Lets it go from deep. Robinson misses.
And you can tell right there, the defense is totally fine with him shooting that. That's not his game.
Towns looking it over. Outside Edwards. Lets it go from the wing. San Antonio with the rebound. Outside Robinson. Puts up a three. No good. And so it's the Timberwolves who come out on top here. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting.
Myself, that's that